So we're kind of quite rushed for PAX and GDC where we're doing a demo, so I didn't do loads of prep for this stream. So I thought, let's just kind of mess around and have some fun. So yeah, so I'm thinking, let's just create some weird creature that might exist on the moon Titan and somehow live. Obviously, as far as we know, nothing lives there, and in the game it's kind of like it's pretty much dead planet surface. But so this is nothing that will be used in the game. This is just kind of to mess around and just have some fun, but kind of, you know, it's linked to the game. So so yeah, so I'm gonna enlist anybody who's watching your help and your suggestions, but the idea is, I think, that mainly we're gonna try and come up with maybe a couple animals that exist on Earth and like mix them, and then also just kind of get sci-fi and weird and just start coming up with some ideas. But a lot of this I'll just share where this idea came from. So so there's this 3D artist sculptor, Ashley A. Adams, and she's kind of like a similar style to me in that she quite likes kind of low poly stuff and working with kind of like very polygon faceted sort of meshes and stuff. And if you check out her portfolio, I don't think she's got a lot of that kind of stuff in her portfolio, but she does an official kind of stream for Pixelogic, who make ZBrush, and in her stream she talks a lot about kind of like working with like low poly kind of faceted crazy models, and how she gets ideas from like seeing the polygons in weird shapes and like stretched out, and kind of like how it gives like some surface detail. So I was watching her and I was thinking, wow, this is like similar to how I think about sculpting and designing stuff in ZBrush, and it's not something you see a lot of. So I was thinking, okay, so yeah, she does lots of really crazy creatures and cool creatures. So that was kind of where the inspiration came from for this stream, was to kind of do something similar to what she does, which is kind of like just how I work. So so it's kind of, but yeah, she was like reminding me, yeah, why don't you do something that you kind of do, but kind of, you know, similar to what she does. But so if you check out her work, Ashley A. Adams, she's got an art station, and of course, you know, if you want to check out the ZBrush Pixelogic stream, which they stream like all kinds of different artists, but like she's one of them. She's like, you know, among many. Yeah, so she obviously is like quite into creatures and stylized characters, kind of similar to me. Also kind of like weird stuff. She's got Twitter, it's at A3_art. So you can follow her on Twitter if you're into Twitter. But yeah, so that's her stream. She does some really cool creatures. Like, look at that. That's pretty awesome. So I think she kind of like works similar to me, where she'll start off like low poly, super basic, get some weird shapes going that kind of like, you know, probably fuel her imagination, sort of similar to me, and then kind of probably decimate it in ZBrush, and then add like loads of detail and kind of go, you know, super high poly. So the kind of low poly stage is like the design stage, but it's really good for doing creatures. So that's what we're gonna try and do today. So we should probably start by looking at, oh, hello, Lapis C. We should probably start looking at the moon Titan and read a little bit about it before designing a creature, because obviously knowing the environment can affect how it might look. So Titan is the largest, so obviously this is Wikipedia. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn and the second largest natural satellite in the solar system. It is the only moon known to have a dense atmosphere, and the only object in space other than Earth where clear evidence of stable bodies or surface liquid have been found. So there's supposedly methane lakes, so we could do something like aquatic, or like just something that could maybe like feed off of methane lakes, or I don't know, something to think about. Titan is the sixth gravitationally rounded moon from Saturn. Frequently described as a planet-like moon, Titan is 50% larger than the Earth's moon and 80% more massive. It is the second largest moon in the solar system after Jupiter's moon Ganymede, and is larger than the smallest planet Mercury, but only 40% as massive. Discovered in 1655 by the Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens, Titan was the first known moon of Saturn. and the 6th known planetary satellite after Earth's moon and the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter. Titan orbits Saturn at 20 Saturn radii, interesting, from Titan's surface. Saturn subtends an arc of, okay, this is probably extra info we don't really need, let's skim read it. Ice and rocky material, it's composed of ice and rocky material. Much as with Venus before the space age, the dense, opaque atmosphere prevented understanding of Titan's surface, with the POLYGUNN mission in 2004 provided new information, including the discovery of liquid hydrocarbon lakes in Titan's polar regions. Okay, so yeah, rocks, ice, methane sort of lakes, gassy lakes. The geologically young surface is generally smooth with few impact craters, although mountains and several possible cryovolcanoes have been found. Oh wow, cryovolcanoes, okay. I did read this quite a while ago now, but it's a good reminder as to Titan's surface. So yeah, so harsh conditions. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie Titan, where they kind of like they biologically alter humans to try and live on Titan. It's not the best movie, but it's on Netflix. And they change humans to try and be able to live on Titan. It's kind of a cool movie, worth checking out, but that got me thinking as well. But Artium methane-fueled crabo sharks. Crabo sharks, yeah, okay. So yeah, aquatic stuff could be a good way to go. Lapis C says has quite a low gravitational pull, so if it has legs, they would need to be more like thin grabbing claws. Interesting. Crabo sharks, says Marlin. So yeah, should it be in the water? Should it be something that kind of... I think it should be something to do with... I say water, so it's not water. Something to do with liquid. So whether or not it lives on the land, feeds off the liquid, or maybe it's in the lake, lives in the lake, maybe it comes out a little bit. So, yeah. So just feel free to give me any animal ideas that you're thinking. So obviously sharks have been mentioned, and some crabs, claw things. The thing is, with mixing, if we're gonna mix like 2 animals, it can get pretty silly. Which we could get silly with this. I don't know, but it's kind of more sci-fi to go really alien and weird. So we'll start off like thinking about animals on Earth, and maybe mixing a couple animals, or maybe a few animals, and then just go weird alien if it's looking too silly. But all right, Marlon says, look at some super deep stuff in the sea. Yeah, they pretty kind of scary looking stuff deep in the sea, right? So let's just have a look at deep sea fish. Oh yeah, the goblin shark. He's a weirdo. I think it would be pretty cool to like maybe like mix like a deep sea fish with something on land. But yeah, with these kind of like deep sea fish, you definitely get the sense that they're gonna eat you. Or they're gonna eat something, and it's not gonna be nice. And then, so if they have these big teeth, what do they feed off of? There must be other creatures around. Barrel eye fish, says 4-Bit Friday. Barrel eye fish. What's that? Oh, the weird brain fish guy. That's the scientific name. The official scientific name is the weird brain fish guy. That is a weird fish because he's cute. That's super sci-fi. Like if you saw that in a video game or like in a movie, you'd be like, "What? That would never exist." It almost looks like there's like a galaxy inside his head. Super crazy. But he just looks really cute. Looks like a Pokemon. So I don't know. Like if we start basing it on something cute, it could look really silly. But I do like the idea of like being able to see inside it. That's pretty cool. So maybe like exposed innards. Okay, 4-Bit Friday says, I'm looking through my reference folder of aquatic animals right now. So yeah, so it sounds like we're gonna go aquatic for sure. So like, let's pick some kind of fish. Like the deep sea fish is definitely a good way to go. Wow, look at that. Look at those eyes. It's like VR goggles or something. 4-Bit Friday says, check out ghost shrimp as well. They also have real cool clear bodies. I love clear body creatures. Yeah, a lot of the deep sea things seem to have transparency going on, which is kind of like something you can't really model, I guess. That's kind of going to be in the texture or in the material. But we could hint, maybe like through like bones, you can see the inside. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. That's kind of like cute but scary at the same time. Like if you saw that deep in the water, you'd be pretty disturbed. Oh my god. This stream is just going to turn into like looking at weird creatures stream. Okay, we will get to art soon, I promise. Wow. This is great. Yeah, deep sea creatures. I mean, perfect reference for doing like alien stuff. Look at that. Love it. All the like surface, weird surface stuff. That looks like something from like the alien films. Like that almost looks like the you know, when it bursts out your chest. Ghost shrimp. Yes, I didn't search that yet, did I? Ghost shrimp. Ooh. Oh yeah, you can see like eggs in the belly. Super transparent. I mean, there is transparency in ZBrush, but you have to just make it like all transparent. But yeah, you could do that. I guess we could like sculpt something and just make everything like semi-transparent, and that could kind of look weird. Yeah, shrimpy. So insecty, shrimps, insects, deep sea creatures. That seems like something that would exist on Titan. I like the teeth on that. Thing is, would it have teeth? Like, you have teeth because you're eating stuff, right? You're eating other animals. Would it just suck up some kind of molecules in the lake? Maybe it should have like some kind of like sucking mouth thing. Or maybe it sucks off stuff on land. Maybe it lives in the water, lives in the lakes, the methane lakes, kind of comes out, licks the planet's surface to eat something. Yeah, Pavel says background music perfectly fits. Yeah, looking at deep sea fish stuff. Like a reverse anteater. Yeah. Tentacles, yeah, tentacles, like things that reach out the water, right? That kind of like would be cool. So like suckers, tentacles, things that kind of come out. Yeah, because I can see it like kind of living in the water, but like having something to do with the land. You don't want it just to be in there all the time. Okay. Let's just look at tentacles. Yeah, like I like the idea for like tentacles that feed. That'd be kind of cool. Like suckers, like they just come out of the water, maybe pull things up, suck things. Tentacles are hard to model though. I don't know. I mean, in ZBrush they might be tricky, just because of like all the like little sucker bits, and then like long kind of wavy things are hard to model. But that shouldn't stop me from trying to do tentacles. We'll have a thing. So I'm bringing up these images, but let's go back to it maybe once we're modeling back to images. Okay, well, now let's pick two creatures of some sort. So maybe let's just bring up like a squid for like the tentacle reference, which is pretty good. Orbit Friday, what are non-Lovecraftian tentacles? Clear ones? A squid? They're super alien, right? That could work. But let's mix like a water thing with a... Let's mix a few things. So let's pick like a squid, maybe a fish, and then a land thing. Anybody want to call out a land animal that we could just try and mix in? So if it's mainly in the water and it's got something from a land animal, it's got to be pangolin. What's that? Ooh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen this animal before. I didn't know what it's called. There you go. Thanks for Orbit Friday. It's a pangolin. Oh, the babies, super cute. The patterns are really cool. Looks like a fruit or something. Cool claws. Yeah, it's kind of like going close to like a reptile, isn't it? Komodo dragon. Yeah, Lapis C just said Komodo dragon as I was thinking reptiles. Yeah. Okay. We could just... Komodo dragons. Yeah, Komodo dragon's like a scarier version of the pangolin. Man, imagine having one of these as a pet. I want one as a pet. Okay, let's pick an image. Oh my god, with a baby on the back. That is super cute. Oh my god. They are really cute. Okay, let's pick one of these images just to save as reference. Oh wow, that's... Look at the colors on that. He looks like he might not be alive. Can't be sure. This looks like pretty good reference. Wow, that almost looks like it's not real. It's a model, like, so strange. Pinecone animal. Yeah, Pavel says pinecone animal. He's like, yeah, all these kind of like sticky outy bits, like pine cones. Okay. So I like that image. Don't want it too big on the screen. Keep it a bit smaller. Okay, and then let's definitely pick some kind of fish thing. Or like squid. Lapis, I'm pretty sure that's modeled. Yeah, it looked like modeled, but you can never tell. It's weird. Okay, squiddy, tentacly. Oh, that's pretty cool. That image. That's pretty cool. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Squids are great. They're actually, you don't realize how different and unusual they can look. Let's save that image. Okay, so we've got a squid, got the pangolin guy. That's great just for like the surface detail, but I think it is too detailed to kind of really use. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to like some deep sea fishes. Oh my god. So disturbing. Okay, does anybody know a specific deep sea fish that they would like to see? Anybody know any by name? Or like, feel free if you're in front of a computer just to like Google and find one you like, because I don't want to pick everything. I've already picked a squid. That'll be my addition. Wow, look at him. He's like a planet. That's so strange. I mean, you could pick any of these. They're so good. Although crabs were mentioned, right? Like deep sea crab. Crab claws. So yeah, insecty, crabby, that kind of stuff is good. Is that like a spider crab? Giant crab? I do quite like the idea of long spindly legs. Like that's pretty good reference. This guy's pretty good. Colors on that. Okay, let's save that. What would they use the claws for? Maybe the claws could be used to like pull them out to get onto land, or to crush obviously something. Sea spiders. 4-Bit Friday says check out sea spiders if you're looking for long legs. Yeah, I think that was one of those images. Is that a sea spider? Have a look. Sea spider. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like a daddy long leg in the sea. Yeah, they're kind of creepy. There's something about long legs, thin long legs is creepy, isn't it? That's super alien though. Yeah, I could see that existing on Titan. Let's save that. God, I hate them so much, says 4-Bit Friday. Yeah, I mean, depends how big it is. It's like you get over a certain size, and you're not going to want to see that. Like, if it was tiny, okay, that's not an issue, it just looks like a spider, but if it was like the size of your hand or any bigger, I'm going to run. Yeah, it's good reference, so. Although it's, I'd like to see something a bit more detailed than that. Maybe an image that's closer up. Oh, it's a facehugger. Yeah, it is reminiscent of the space. Oh, look at that. Oh, super creepy. Okay, I've got so many images open now. Let's close some of these. This is what happens. I'm so used to doing this for work, researching. Having a million images open. Oh, look at that. Ooh. It's kind of like almost slimy. Marlon Weave says lapis parasites is a cool idea. Lapis parasites. Lapis. I don't want to spend too much time like looking at creatures. I mean, looking at existing creatures, because we're supposed to be doing art, but this is just fun to look at, isn't it? Okay, some weird images come up for that. I think. So how many images have I got now? Yeah, that's a good one. Shrink it down a bit. Although, I feel like the detail's right in the middle, so we want it pretty big, so we can see that. body structure. Get rid of that. Okay, so we've got these two and the squid guy, which I quite liked. Oh my god, where's this gonna go? Okay, we should probably open up ZBrush. Feel free to like make suggestions as I model as well, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna try things out. ZBrush is just opening, it takes a little while. Lupus C says, do you know about Pure Ref? It's the ultimate reference software. No, I don't know about that. Is that like an image search engine as well, or is it just like an image viewer, or what is that? Okay, what is ZBrush doing? I've opened this bottom panel. Okay, that bottom panel's not normally open in ZBrush. What are you doing? I clicked something. Okay, let's exit. I don't even know how to close that panel. It's so weird. Yeah, Lupus, he says it's just like a really amazing image display. Okay. Yeah, I've used some like image viewing software before, and there's some that are like really good. I can't remember what it's called, but like Qdo or something. I think I've still got it on here. Yeah, Quadro. That's pretty good for like image viewing. And you can like save loads of like images together like as a file, and then you just open one file and it brings up all your images that are saved. And it's like everything's like borderless. If you want, it's just the image, and you can like have it on top. But I don't know. I'm mainly using what's it called? OpenView, I think is what this is. And it's got some good options, but it's kind of annoying. It's like it's annoying to have to like see some stuff up here that you don't really need. But you can turn all that off, but it's just fiddly. But the main thing is that it appears on top of other software that's open, which is obviously what you want. And you can also open up images in ZBrush and have them as reference inside ZBrush, but I don't know, it's just extra steps. I like just opening it on my computer. Okay. Let's stick them on the side. Taking up so much room because I'm on my laptop. Normally, of course, I'd have two monitors, which makes screen real estate much better, but I'm on a little laptop, so we're going to be cramped a little bit, but let's make sure Wacom tablet is mapped correctly, because normally on two screens it's trying to expand across. There we go. Okay, so as usual, let's start with a sphere. That's so strange. I just changed the Wacom mapping. Oh, that is it for Photoshop and not ZBrush, I think. We're doing screen mapping. Edit Photoshop, not ZBrush. There we go. Okay, so first thing you do is get rid of that horrible red material. And I think we need to make the sphere a poly mesh 3D sphere. There we go. Okay, and then best place to start is I usually start with just like a move brush tool. This one, the snake hook brush, is great because it's kind of super stretchy move brush, and that's the best way to start, like just pulling things around. So so what's its like main torso body section going to be? Lapisi says, I love the orange material, I feel ashamed. Well, if you love it, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you using it, it's just I don't like it. It doesn't kind of represent what you'd see in the real world to me. Like this one, I've got a bunch actually. So obviously, for people who use ZBrush, there's loads of materials you can get for ZBrush on the internet, and I just like ones that represent kind of like real life clay in a way. So there's one that kind of replicates the Mudbox clay one, which is funny because like Mudbox is another sculpting software, and it had a really nice material that is the default one, and so somebody recreated it for ZBrush, so that was a pretty good one. And then there's like 3 versions of those that I have, and those are usually my go-to for starrying. But you know, you can just mess around. The default one, which is just basic material, is fine as well. It's quite strong in the shadows. You can see how dark it gets at the bottom, which I don't really like, but that's a good go-to. I mean, this one kind of gets dark as well, but anything kind of like just neutral looking, where you can get a good amount of like highlight and not too much shadow, usually works for me. But okay, so yes, let's bring those images up. Okay, so it's torso. Okay, yeah, let's think about what parts of these animals we're gonna steal. Like, I quite like the head of this guy. It's just so cute, but we could maybe make it a little bit more sinister looking. And then obviously, like, all these spindly bits from these guys are gonna be great to add on. So if it has that kind of a head, maybe it's multi-legged, like an insect. So essentially we're looking at like spindly legs, cute head, tentacles. I had angry eyebrows, so it's like, see, yeah. Yeah. With a head like that, it's not going to be in like an insectoid type creature, though, is it? It's going to have a bit of beefiness to it. So maybe kind of a thick central body, thickish, or maybe like long, because it's kind of like aquatic, isn't it? I imagine it kind of like swimming around and then using tentacles or crab claws to kind of pull itself out of the water. I keep on saying water, but it's obviously not water. It's like methane, whatever. The liquid, I should say. So let's dynamesh this, so we can kind of do whatever we want with it. So resolution is too high. Start low poly. Remember, that's my philosophy, is to. Here we go. You can start seeing the polygons. Super low res. 25? Yeah. Just for me, like, if it's low res, we can see the polygons, it means it's kind of easy to manipulate and move around. It's not such a kind of big blobby mess, it's more kind of manageable. Okay, so if it swims, it's going to have some kind of fins, right? So fins, tentacles, maybe claws. So like, it kind of sounds like a squid, like very much sort of squid based, but with a head. Okay, so of course, like when I'm doing this art stuff, I might not be talking so much because I'll probably be trying to think. But I think with creatures, it's kind of like a case of just getting stuck in and messing around. It's not so much about concentration, anyway. Okay, so fins. Where are the fins going to be? Like, how does it propel itself? Because most, fish and things, they're always at the back. You got the fin tail at the back. Ooh, I kind of like the idea of it not having fins and maybe being like more of like a crawler, so it's more insectoid rather than fish-like. It pull itself along. So that's where that spider guy comes in, spider crab guy, or whatever he's called. So like long legs. Let's get some legs in there. So we started with a sphere for the main torso section. Let's do cylinders for the legs. Spindly legs. Yeah, Marlon says crawler with spindly legs. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. Yeah, because it's like, if it's got to be in the water and it comes on land, something insectoid makes more sense, right? It's only things with fins and more fish-like are things that stay in the water. So duplicate. So I'm of course just going to do one side and then mirror it. How many joints? So this guy's got 1, 2, 3 joints, and like, well, 4 if you count where it's attached. 1, 2. So let's at least go with 3 for sure. And then let's merge those so we can. There's one. Let's duplicate. And mirror. And then merge that down. I did customize the UI to make that process quicker, because I do that all the time. It's like duplicating, flipping, merging, but I didn't save that UI. Okay. So now we can really just pull these around. Maybe pointy at the end. Okay, how many legs? So he's obviously got eight legs like a spider. Let's not do 8 because that's just too cliched in an Earth way. Let's do it. Well, okay, so yeah, he's a crawler, grabber, so he's gonna pull himself. So maybe like 2 legs that are big at the front, and then some smaller legs behind. Just duplicating, scale it down. The thing with legs is you kind of want to get one pair right and then duplicate it, so it's probably not the way I should be doing it, but let's just rough it all out. Ooh, yeah, kind of like front-facing legs, pull, and then the back ones are kind of like pointing backwards, and they kind of push. That could be pretty cool. Alright, they're a bit too thin now. Inflate a little bit. Duplicate. It should be smaller. Bottom, right? I mean, legs could be on the top. You could have legs on your back, come down. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe like, because his legs are on the top, he could like have his mouth, or he could feed from the bottom, right? So he's kind of like moving with things on his top, and then feeding with his bottom. So he's a bottom feeder. So maybe like he or she, maybe just sort of sits at the bottom of the methane lakes, feeding off stuff, but occasionally comes up to the surface and pulls itself onto land to get something special. Don't know. Actually, it's a bit too thick. This music's great. So again, it's Danny Baranowski's music. Work in progress stuff for Industries of Titan. Perfect music for doing this. That's pretty weird. But I guess that's a good thing. merge all those. Right, so it's head. So it's at the front. That's usually where head is. So we have the head at the front. I think it would just look too weird if we didn't have it at the front. Like, you can get weird, but you kind of, there's a place where you shouldn't go to with weird, and it just starts to look silly or stupid or incorrect. So we like so he's got quite big eyes, but how could we make that more alien? Less cute. Maybe if he just had more than one eye. I mean, more than two eyes. Maybe like 4 eyes, 6 eyes. that would like go from cute to ugh. So let's throw in some spheres, the eyes. It's not moving. I just did something ZBrush I didn't know you could do, is permanently turn off the ability to move. Yeah, so it's got this kind of anteater-like snout. I feel like you should have a small head though. I mean, and he says, who's called Pronounced Win, says, I like hearing Nick's creative process. He comes up with cool ideas for Titan all the time. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know what's a good idea, though. Right? Like, this guy, I have no idea where this is going to go. That's part of the fun. Yeah, so like, he's snout-like. What does he do with his head? What does he do with his mouth? Because insects, they've usually got little mandibles. Could have a tongue. Because I was thinking you'd eat from the bottom. You know, I've pressed something. Is it caps lock? There we go. I must have pressed that lock symbol, I didn't even notice. I couldn't move things. Eats from the bottom. His head should hang low. Marlon says, I like the idea of one big compound eye or something. Yeah. Could have one eye. But where would that eye be? Does it have to be in the middle? In the center? Maybe it could be like on his bottom. The thing is, we're gonna just go so far away from this reference. But that's, I guess that's, you know, the reference is there just in case. You need extra ideas, you can just wing it. So if you had like an eye, one big eye on the bottom, so you can see what he's eating. So he's got, or maybe like at the bottom and kind of at the front of it, so you can kind of see where he's going and see what to eat off the ground. So let's get rid of this head thing. Just move it to the back. Maybe it could be something to protect his legs. cover for the legs or something. Marlon says, I feel like organisms are generally symmetrical. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Nature likes symmetry, right? More efficient, I guess. Or like, you know, less work to do. Done one side, just copy it over. Just like doing art. Okay. Yeah, so maybe like a big eye at the front, not too big. Yeah, Marlin, the eye for getting the food off the floor of the methane lake, yeah. Okay, what else is going on with this guy? Let's bring those legs up. More of a kind of arcing sort of thing, yeah. Better. So yeah, it's kind of like looking very insectoid now, which is okay. That's a common way to go with this kind of stuff. It's kind of like a shell on the top, maybe? I don't know. Like, if he feeds on the bottom, and his eyes on the bottom, all his important stuff is on the bottom for doing work, for eating, and so it makes sense that maybe on the top he'd be kind of protected. Protected from what though? Other creatures, or maybe on Titan there's like little tiny meteors falling all the time. Just general harsh conditions coming from above. So yeah, maybe quite like the idea of like, well, we've got this kind of stepping shell here. Maybe we could copy that a bit, having that kind of fan-like fanning out of protective shell stuff. So let's shrink this down a bit. I'm sure you can do it in ZBrush, but I don't know how to like do like a multi-copy operation where you could just have like I can do it in 3D Studio Max, just you know, an copied array of objects, but I don't know how to do that in ZBrush. Something I should know if you could do it in ZBrush. I don't recall anybody doing anything like that. You just copy one at a time, which is frustrating for stuff like this. When you could make like you could make a brush actually that is a 3D object and then just drag out the brush. That's one way you could do it, but we're not going to do that because it would take time to set up. So let's thin this out. So this, with these kind of scales, they get thicker in the middle, or wider in the middle, and thin out a bit. So if we copy a bunch, yeah, let's just copy a bunch and then copy that, and so on and so forth. This might be too big. Actually, we need to curve it, don't we? To be able to go on top of each other. Something like that? Okay. Let's merge. be a bit smaller, I think. Almost looks like hair. Mohawk. Got a punk creature going on here. Okay, so now if you merge all that, again, we can just duplicate for the sides maybe. Maybe you'll have like 3 rows of these. Turn off symmetry now. Moving stuff. So yeah, quick way to create a lot of details, just copy, copy, copy. Thin it out a bit. Keith Swanger says, "This is a bloomin' onion of the seafood world." Multi-layered, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got this repeating shell casing, which we're trying to mimic. Let's mirror that over. And merge down. Symmetry back on. We can edit both sides. This is looking pretty weird. But that's okay. It's an alien on Titan. Ooh, it looks like one of those bugs. What are they called? You know, like a potato bug, but what's their proper name? Oh, Keith Swanger says bloomin' onion is an Outback Steakhouse appetizer here in the US. That wasn't widely known. No, that's not widely known. I had no idea. I mean, I'm in Canada, but I've lived in the UK most of my life, so that's why I had no idea what that was. So this looks edible. Yeah, you could eat it. How big is it though? That's the question. We should bring in a basic human. That's an idea for scale. Maybe at the end we could just scale the whole thing and say it's gonna be this big next to a human. Marlon says he didn't know what it was either. Just looked it up and it looks similar to this. Wow, complete coincidence. It also looks a bit like kind of hot dog-ish. I don't know. It does look edible. Maybe it's this meaty center. Like maybe the people arriving on Titan ate these guys for a while. Now they're extinct, and that's why they're not there anymore. Okay, so he's got some kind of like weird outer shell thing. Let's widen, bring it into the central section a bit. So should he have like mandibles similar to this spider guy? Like some smaller, yeah, he'll need smaller arms to feed himself, right? To like pick up stuff from the lake surface, bottom of the lake. And then would he do the same when he pulls himself onto land? I guess so. Yeah, Lapis says size is quite important, as smaller things tend to be more smooth and less detailed. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's gotta be small. How small? Size your hand, maybe? Yeah, what's the scale of life on Titan? So, you know, it's not a super big place. So maybe be similar to Earth scales, kind of makes sense. So like, you know, if like a sea crab's like the size of your hand, makes sense. So this guy can maybe be the size of your hand. Okay. Okay, let's find this a little bit. Come in where the legs come out. A bit more of like a exoskeleton style looking thing. Ooh, they usually have like, I'm just going in like insect direction now, because I'm just thinking of insects. Some kind of weird ribbed kind of body. Yes, so I've got distracted. Arms for feeding. You know, I should save this. If we crashed, I'd be so sad. Okay, saved. Yay. Yeah, ZBrush isn't the most stable software, so it's a good idea to save for sure. Like, you can do certain operations that are like, I think, like computationally very crazy. Like some things you'll do and you could wait like a minute or two for it to calculate what it needs to do, so that's often where you get crashes. Almost looks like fur, the shell thing. But I kind of like, yeah, I mean, this kind of pine cone nature of it almost looks like fur and shell at the same time. It's kind of cool. Okay, yeah. Legs for eating. There's too many legs. Okay, we don't want to copy all the legs. Maybe duplicate these ones, front ones. So they're going to be smaller because, you know, you kind of, these aren't for moving around, they're just for eating. You know what? I like that one eye. Good suggestion, Marlon. Okay, so if you're eating, picking stuff up, what are you picking up? Lupus C says, I was waiting half an hour to bake an 8K texture to use as micro displacement in Blender. Yeah, rendering takes a long time. Like, the Titan logo, which I render, I mean, obviously it depends on how big you need that image, but the biggest one we have is something like, I don't know, like, it must be like 3,000 pixels wide or something, and that's an overnight job. It's because it's like lots of like metallic detail. That was rendered in Blender, actually, and there's like all procedural materials for the metallicness and the kind of like the wear and stuff. I was using Cycles Render, which is like a really nice render. Like, that's one of the things that really got me interested in Blender, is like when I saw that render and how good it is, and it kind of like, you know, it's real time as well, so it's calculating. You can move things around, and automatically calculates the render and then starts the process like every time you change something, you know, if you set it up to do that. So it's such a high quality render. So I mean, 3D Studio Max, the other software I use, I mean, it's got Mental Ray, which is good render as well, but it's super old now and slow to do things. I love Blender's Cycles Render. Blender is such good software now. Totally free. Just have to be patient with it, that's all. Okay, so yeah, he needs like picky-uppy claw things, right? I mean, what is he eating? Let's just say it's something sizable that he has to pick up. So let's create a little kind of, let's delete some of that trim. A bit smaller. But yeah, I'm trying to like create some kind of little claw hand thing. Kind of, yeah, I like the idea of like just two, like a claw. Lapis is mentioning Eevee in Blender, which is the real-time render. Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet. So yeah, so like Blender's one of the recent add-ons is a real-time render, similar to what you get, you know, how game engine renders. So it's all real-time, no waiting for renders, and some of the results people are getting at it look amazing, like really high quality. So at some point I will be playing with that for sure. There's just so much stuff to check out with Blender. I'm still pretty newish to Blender. I've only really started using it in the past kind of like year or a year and a half, and it's only just been like casual use for like, you know, the occasional thing I want to do with it that it does. Again, you can sculpt in Blender, and if you can't afford ZBrush, like ZBrush is the best sculpting software. I mean, hands down, can be beaten sort of thing. But you know, if you don't want to spend all that money and if you just want to mess around, then Blender sculpting is pretty good as well, and you can get some like add-ons in the store that make it a bit of a nicer workflow. The store, well, it's Blender Market. The good thing about Blender, I mean, it's totally free, and then even like the add-ons that you might need to make it more like the tool you'd be used to are pretty cheap as well. And the community's great. I mean, that's like a big plus for Blender is, you know, if you need help with something or you want to connect with other people who use the software, they're all like super nice and helpful. Whereas like more professional software, whatever that means, like Maya or 3D Studio Max, there's less of a kind of friendly culture around it. But of course, you know, with Maya and Max, there's a huge database of information and tutorials and stuff in the industry standards. Yeah, okay, so claw things to pick up, things to eat. So he obviously needs to bring those to a mouth. So I guess, you know, I did mention earlier maybe the mouse would be on the bottom. What kind of a mouse? Picking up little kind of nuggets of stuff to eat. Could just be quite basic, couldn't it? Just maybe a little kind of like sucker mouse thing. Let's add a sphere for the mouse. Whoa, okay. Dynamesh. I was actually hoping to do this guy really quickish, and then maybe even like bring it into 3D Studio Max and like do really quick, super basic rigging. Maybe even get it moving, but I don't know how realistic that is. That's maybe I'm not gonna have time to fit that in, but it'd be pretty cool. So I like the idea of like maybe like a sucker type mouse. That makes sense, just for like scooping up stuff. Don't want to make it look too much like the eye though. So is he gonna be able to reach that mouse? Yeah. It's kind of a weird place to have a mouse, though, isn't it? But it's a weird alien creature, so. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he's like looking at stuff, picking it up, scooping it in there to eat. And that's like his belly, so the food goes directly into his belly. Where does it come out? Yeah, we're not going to get into like that kind of detail. Yeah, it's just looking very insectoid now, isn't it? I mean, what's aquatic about this guy? I mean, maybe like this kind of casing could be like, yeah, it could be like fins as well as protection, so he could like propel himself in water. Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? I like the idea. If he's at the bottom of the methane lake or on land, he uses his legs to crawl, but when swimming, folds in his legs and uses these kind of like protective fin shell bits to propel himself in the water. That's kind of cool. That's a good thing about like as well, like because I do animation, so it's a good thing. You know, sometimes I do animation. It's a good thing to have that because then you can like when you're modeling, you can think, oh, how's this going to move? One says, give it some gills at the bottom. Yeah. Gilly type thing. Yeah, he does need some kind of like. Although insects don't have gills, do they? Or like crabs. But yeah, I do like the idea of like mixing in other things anyway. So like gills would be cool. Let's increase the resolution now. The body. Add some gill-like details. What would the gills be? I think they'd be kind of on the main body structure. Like there. Weird gill type things. Yeah. Cool. Usually the pinch brush is good for thinning things out. Let's make them a bit thinner. Just pinch. I guess that's something you're just gonna notice if you happen to look closely enough, but whoa. I mean, could be quite big gills. Like, come out a lot. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe it could be like a mixture of gills and little jets. Maybe it can like suck in water and blow it out to move or to swim. Okay, let's refine this eye a bit because I feel like it's not really feeling like an eye. like a socket. Sure, symmetry's on. And as soon as we turn on like a nice glossy material for that eye, you'll be like, oh my god, it's an eye! Ooh, it's kind of creepy now, isn't it? Yeah, let's just turn this into an eye. Is it just going to be like black? I guess. It's not going to have a pupil. Okay, so color blackish, maybe like a purpley, slightly. So this is another material got on the internet. Great for eyes. Just Google ZBrush eye materials. Ooh. You know, when it's dark, it looks scarier, doesn't it? It's like, I don't like that. Yeah, as soon as you start adding color to this kind of stuff, it suddenly starts to change so much. Kind of like these, they're more spiky. So you just need to think about the silhouette. That's a good thing about making it black like this. You hit V, turns it black. You start reading the silhouette better. Especially in games, like a silhouette is so important for like the readability, like identifying something. So it's good to always check what kind of shape it's making. I like the idea of it kind of like with the legs, like they go in and out, in and out. If you look at a human's leg, profile view, it looks just the way the flesh is, I guess. Because the bones don't curve too much, but the way the flesh like goes on the bones, it kind of goes at the top of your thigh, it's kind of sticking out a bit, and it goes down to your shin, it comes in, and then your foot, it goes out. You can kind of like see that mirroring in a lot of creatures and insects and stuff. It's good to get that when you're making something like this. Okay. Thing is, oh, you know what? This isn't going to be much fun to animate all those legs. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to rig this guy quickly. Okay, so these legs should really be more aligned to the ground a bit better, but just masking to move a few at a time. God, this music's so good. Yeah, those legs look a bit better now. But they're way up in the air, so like, bring that down. I do normally work a lot faster and more efficiently and better in ZBrush, but it's when you're streaming, it's hard to like go with the flow. you normally do and relax. So trust me, I am normally faster and better. This is only like my 3rd stream ever, so I'm still kind of like getting used to the whole thing. Okay, you know what? I'm not. This is too bad. I like this. This was great reference because like this weird pinecone shell thing really did something I wouldn't have normally expected. I wouldn't have normally done, or like, you know. Yeah, Lapisi says none is fast when doing 2 things at once. Yeah. I like that these kind of like, they don't look too claw-like. They almost look like little grabby hands. I like grabby hands. Because it's kind of like Virgin. It's a bit scary, but like maybe there's like cute elements. So we don't want to just make something scary. That's kind of a bit cliche. Okay. Should we add anything else? So it's got a mouth. It's got an eye. It's got some protective gear. Some like maybe some propulsion with that. It's got legs. It's got gills. I think he's like feature rich. I don't think we should maybe necessarily add too much. Maybe it's just a case of like refining what we have. I mean, unless now we can fly. Add some wings. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do, I just love doing it, is to go into let's minimize some of this. We didn't really use anything from the squid in the end, but that's okay. I picked the squid and didn't use it, so that's fine. Yeah, so one of my favorite things to do, like when you're doing anything in ZBrush, is to go to Transpose Master in the plugins, and you just hit this button to pose the mesh, and it just means it kind of like combines it all into like one model that you can manipulate, and then you manipulate it as one if you want to, and then you like commit it, and everything's still separate, but you've like worked on it as like one thing. And it's all one like this, you can have this snake hook brush, which is the move brush, and you can really go crazy. You can just like, whoa, do some weird stuff. They can move more hunched. Immediately that's like, ooh, cool. Marlon says, are the people on Titan going to keep these things as pets? Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like they existed before people came, and then they were like, ooh, what are these creatures? Ooh, they're full of nutrition, and then they just like ate them to extinction. That's pretty dystopian, kind of fits with the vibe of the game. Yeah, I like it. They're kind of curved back like that. That's pretty cool. If these forward arms should be bigger. I'm just gonna mask. There we go. I can just do that. Okay. I mean, yeah. They could be really big, couldn't they? Although, when he's swimming, they'd be too much of a hindrance. They would stop him probably from swimming efficiently. So yeah, let's not make him too big. It should just be grabby legs at the front to pull him on when he's on the ground. Okay, what else could we add? Maybe try pulling it around a little bit more. Ooh, that's kind of cool actually. Kind of hunched at the front. Although we've totally distorted that eye. Oops. That's okay. It doesn't have to be a perfectly round eye. Or we could just add another sphere after, but let's isolate it and then move it in. Yeah, Lapis reminds me of the alien crab from Half-Life. I'm trying to remember what that looks like, but yeah. What's happened to Half-Life anyway? You make another game or what? Okay. Yeah, I kind of like the hunchness at the front. It's kind of cool. Just masking those legs because I don't want to move them. I just want these grabby claw things a bit smaller. Is he able to reach the ground? Yeah. Reach his mouth? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we just need to move this eye back in. Sorry, I think I do have a slight cold coming on or something. I feel a bit bummed up. Okay, why is his eye socket? Oh yeah, because we squished the eye socket. It's a bit smaller, I think. That's okay. Okay. Those are some big changes, but happy with that, I think. Wider? No. Thinner? A little bit thinner. Yeah. So now I'm like committing, because we combined it all using Transpose Master, then you just press the other button there to commit. And then there we go, it's still all separate objects. The color's back, the material. Okay, should we try to do some smaller details? Let's just... Oh. Yeah, let's add a little bit of detailing, just like, this is still like super rough concept-y phase. Just add a little bit of detail. No, this isn't looking too bad. I'm glad this went in an okay direction. I mean, it's not like the most amazing design, but it doesn't look terrible, right? Which is always pleasing when it doesn't look terrible. I think it needs more detail on the legs, because they're looking a bit basic. Maybe spindly bits, or ribby bits, or both. Super technical is my descriptions. Spindly bits, ribby bits. Okay, we need to increase the resolution. Sync on this now. So I'm just going to subdivide it. So these haven't been Dynamesh. Well, Dynamesh is probably at the end, and then it's kind of all one thing. But or you don't have to. It still is a kind of like a rough concept. But I'm just going to subdivide to increase the resolution. It's not Dynamesh. It's just a normal kind of mesh. Yeah, that's kind of cool because it's like these are grabby legs, so it makes sense that it's kind of ribbed for the grip. Maybe getting more grippy at the end. Boom. Just on the back. So one hidden thing in ZBrush for those ZBrush users is the back. So I've customized this UI, so obviously like your ZBrush will look different, but there's can find it somewhere. I'm trying to remember where it is. Probably like the brush settings or something. You turn on back face mask and it won't affect the other side then. See if that wasn't on. Oh look, see it's affecting the other side. But turn on back face mask and it won't affect the other side. Super handy tip for like doing things with smaller or thin meshes. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It looks grippy, right? That's the idea of what these legs are doing. enhance it a little bit maybe. Like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, I'm just doing like surfacey, detail-y stuff, and then we'll add some color. And I need to remember to save. Like, ZBrush does have like an auto save thing, but it's not very good. I don't know if it doesn't work properly, or if I just haven't been setting it up very well, but the increments in between saves just seems to be really long. I'm sure you can say like change that in settings somewhere, but I think I did change it and it's super long, so I don't know what's going on there. Whereas 3D Studio Max has a pretty good auto backup system. It's saved me so many times when you kind of like, not only just from crashes, but when you like accidentally save over something or you delete something and then save that file, and then you're like, you open it up later or something and you're like, oh, I delete that thing by accident. Uh-oh. Obviously you can't undo because you like closed the file or something, but thankfully it's in the auto backup. Right, let's make these a bit more interesting, these legs. Maybe the joints could have like kind of spikiness to them. A bit more of a ribbed belly. Lapis says that's why I have a dedicated disk that stores states of my whole PC every day and keeps it for like 2 weeks. Wow, that's good. Yeah, good idea to stuff like that. I mean, I save a lot of stuff to Google Drive, but when you have enormous files, which you often do in ZBrush with our really high poly mesh, then obviously you're not going to be saving to Google Drive all the time. But if it's something really important, I usually do remember to put it on Google Drive or something. So it's good to like show like sockets, you know, entry for legs and things. That's just what I'm trying to do here. Okay, is it time for some color, maybe? Oh yeah, maybe something on these. So these are the grabby legs, or for food, for feeding. They can be pretty basic, I think. Maybe just some slight spindles or something. Yeah. Pavel says, yeah, 3ds autobacks are good. Now I, Max, now I rely more on OneDrive, storing previous versions for me. Basically, it contains every saved file whenever I press Control S. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I should probably have a better system for auto-saving and backing stuff up, but I mean, a combination of Google Drive and then like, you know, the occasional external hard drive backup seems to be okay for me. I haven't lost anything super important for a long time. Apple says saved his life a ton of times, yeah. God. Yeah, I think like everybody has to go through that painful moment where they lost a lot of work and then they go, right, I need to do something about this. And I think that moment for me was a long time ago, probably like in, I don't know, 2005 or something, which is when I started working. But it would have just been like home stuff, or like I remember like as a student, I think I lost some stuff. Okay, I think we're almost at coloring stage. Yeah, let's do some coloring. So before you like start doing some painting, you just need to have a slightly higher resolution mesh, because ZBrush, the way it paints on vertexes. So each vertex gets a color assigned. So if you haven't got enough vertices or polygons, then your color will be super blurry. Which is, if you're just concepting, that's maybe not a problem, but okay. What kind of color is this guy going to be? I do quite like the idea of something quite colorful. Like I saw, when we were looking at reference, I saw something that was very colorful. Can't remember what it was. Was it one of the crabs? Or was it the pangolin? I can't remember. Yeah, like this colors, these colors are so cool. Yeah, like how it's like lighter at the edges, dark, goes dark to light on each. It's gonna be, yeah, we could do something like that. Like, yeah, like maybe it's like green. Keith Swenger says, I do Google Drive and Backblaze. Never heard of that one. For anything catastrophic, Backblaze. So what does Backblaze do? Is that just like a cloud storage thing, or is that just like a thing that goes to another hard drive, backs up another hard drive, or? Okay. So we're gonna add color and add material. So what kind of material? Keith says Backblaze backs up all files on your computer, cloud-based. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just like cloud-based stuff now. It's probably like partly, it's properly saved then, right? I mean, you could back up to a hard drive, and the hard drive could get damaged or whatever. So, and it's just more convenient to do cloud-based stuff now. It's just I have to get something else out. I don't want to have to do things. There's enough things to do. Don't give me more stuff to do. Okay. Yeah, so what kind of material, what kind of colors? So obviously he's got to be like kind of shiny. He's going in and out of water. There's got to be some shininess to him. Just seems to fit. Should we go like greeny? Deep green. Maybe. Makes me think of like lake water, liquid. It's greens. Always like greens and blues. Okay. So it's good to think like when painting is like overall what's the shade that's running through the model, like what are the darks and lights. And usually with like in games with like humanoid things, you kind of want them to be like darker at the bottom and go lighter at the top, especially if you have like an overhead camera, because it kind of like creates that sense of depth. So usually like at the ends of legs and arms, it's cool to kind of go darker. For some reason it seems to kind of suit. I don't know why, but it just does work well. So let's go a little bit darker. Yeah. Go a bit lighter. creature. Top. Yeah, kind of like him. Lighter at the back, darker at the front where his eye is, and then like darker at the ends of his legs. I think that works for me. Yeah, kind of like that-ish. And then really light the edges of these. So this is obviously just super rough concept phase. And this is like, you know, if I got a concept out, an animal, creature, human, whatever, I'll do it in ZBrush. Like, I've neglected my drawing skills, so they're not up to standard. But more and more people now are using 3D for concepting. I mean, the tools now are so fast and efficient and so flexible now. You know, concept something in 3D and, you know, the majority of the way there, you just need to like refine it. Yeah, Lupus C says just AO masks for the coloring of those. Yeah, I could do that, can I? I don't really, it's so rare I color things in ZBrush now. But you can mask based on AO and stuff. It's in the mask settings, isn't it? Just doing an autosave or something. Okay, masking, mask by AO, there you go. Maybe on his body that would work well. You can also mask by cavity, can't you? Yeah. Is it doing it? What's it doing? Might not be. Oh, it's, yeah, it's super subtle, the masking for AO. Let's try cavity. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. And then you could just, well, his body should be kind of something different. Let's go like totally crazy pinky purpley or something. So there I'm coloring in the unmasked section, and then go in and make maybe like the section that we masked a bit darker. There you go. So like immediately it creates some like surface detail of coloring. It's a bit too saturated, I think, but yeah, we're just messing around. This is a weird alien thing, so. There you go. And the raised bits is a bit lighter. You like the dark legs? A bit too dark. I do like them a little bit different to the front legs, the front grabbing legs, because I kind of like should separate them. Oh yeah, material. So we haven't really like, I've just been using this material, but you can also do some different materials. So something a bit more glossy, maybe for the shell, because these going in and out of water. Bit too dark, lacks some contrast as Lapis-y, yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think when you go dark, you can like hide a lot. So like, because it's super rough. Oh, that's just way too shiny. Yeah, if it's like really rough. Sometimes it's good just to go dark just to like hide how rough it is, but yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so many materials. So obviously, like, I've collected a lot over the internet, and I've got more than this as well. These are just the ones that load with it. And a lot of the time you just don't know what they're going to look like until you apply them, so. Toy plastic, that's usually a good go-to for shininess. Why is it? Oh, so it's just a material, there you go. Is that too shiny? That's too shiny, isn't it? Blin. Yeah, that's a bit more reasonably shiny. In and out of water. And I quite like the idea of them being like the shell bits are shiny because they're hard. Maybe the legs are a bit shiny, but then the rest could be less shiny. Although that shininess is just so distracting. It needs to be maybe a little bit more subtle. This is the kind of stuff you can just play with forever. So I'll try not to. Semi-shiny, come on. That's what I want. I mean, I could edit the materials, but it just takes too much time. I just want to pick something, throw it on there. Just subtly shiny, maybe just the basic, yeah, just basic material will do. But even that's too shiny at certain angles. I think this is what you could call faffing, really. Just kind of, yeah, that's not too shiny. Just from certain angles it looks a bit over the top, but it's okay. Too saturated. And I feel like those should be darker. Like that. Yeah, maybe these legs are too dark. Coloring in some of the other sections. I don't know, that's kind of... I don't like the shininess. I don't know, what do people think? I was thinking, yeah, it makes sense he's shiny. He's going into liquid, coming out, and it might be like hardened shell, but it's so distracting, the shininess. I kind of preferred it a bit more matte. Let's remove that shine. Yeah, it just looks more readable. Still less shininess. Obviously keep the shininess for the eye, because it clearly indicates that it's an eye then. Needs to be a bit darker, I think. Marlon says, yeah, maybe just the claws could be shiny. Yeah. Yeah, I did actually leave them shiny by accident, but yeah, they could be more shiny. Yeah, darker eye, come on. That's what we need. Darker around the edges, maybe. Get it a little bit lighter in the middle. Something like that, yeah. Right. So you were using basic material for the shiny. Bring the shiny back in these. think we'll just color these legs. And then I think we're nearing completion of this creature concept. Oh, yeah, so got material on. Let's just do color. Oh. Using these kind of materials. Yeah. Very saturated. Yeah, I don't know if green was a way to go, but pink and green? I don't know. Kind of alien-y, I guess. We want it to be like colorful, don't we? Maybe even like more saturated. Oh. I feel like these highlights at the edges of the kind of protective shell bit are the important bits. Just looking at our reference, I mean, like, how cool is that? Lapis says, I most of the time completely skip the materials in ZBrush and make them properly in other software so it does not distract me from the shapes. Yeah, totally. This is like the last thing I do is like colors and materials, because it's easier to read without color, like easier to read the shapes. But saying that, I get eyes, like if it's a character, I get the eye material and the eye color in ASAP, because it really brings like a character to life to have like good eyes. You can kind of like get a much better sense of how they're going to look with good eyes. Okay, let's add a bit of some kind of cool, just like a streak of pink on these legs. A little slight. Oh, that's just gonna look weird. Maybe like some red. Reddish. I don't know. Don't want to go too cartoony, crazy. Again, I like the idea of being quite dark at the tips. There we go. Right, which is saved. Right, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can do the default render just by hitting the BPR button, and it kind of calculates some shadows and stuff. It's usually not that great a render. You can also open up the render pane panel and do this best render, which isn't like a high quality render, but it adds some nice ambient occlusion, which you can't really see with this guy. I think it's just the way this guy's designed. He's kind of... he doesn't actually look that great when you render it. It looks fine just in the viewport, as is. Yeah, maybe there's a bit too much contrast on that body. It does look a bit kind of noisy. Let's get rid of some of the darks. Okay, any last suggestions, anything to do with this guy? Because I think I'm happy with that. I mean, it's kind of get a sense of what it is, right? He pulls himself along with these long legs at the front when he's on land or when he's on the bottom of the lake. Eats with these little kind of mandible-y claw things that go into his mouth here, underneath his eye. You can scan the floor, like bed floor or the ground or whatever, with his eye, his single eyeball. And then he's got these protective kind of layers on his back and the top. And then these back legs kind of push him along when he's on land. He's got the gills, either for breathing or maybe like when swimming, use some kind of like jet propulsion by sucking in water and pushing it out of his body. Yeah. It's kind of cool, right? I like that these protective shell bits almost look like fur as well. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I like how he looks from above, which is good because it's like if he was in a game, that's how you'd see it probably most of the times like this. I think the colors need some work though. Maybe fix that clipping with the legs and shell, says I'll have to see. Yeah, legs and shell. Alright, yeah. Just going in there. I guess the shell should go. Oh yeah, because like when he lifts his legs, they're going to get into that shell sort of bit, aren't they? So maybe if the shell was higher, but more flexible. So maybe it did actually move with it a bit. Yeah, again, I should be thinking about this stuff, doing animation as well. Like, how are things going to intersect with each other when they move? That's not too bad. I mean, with animation anyway, like, this top part of the leg would only go up a little bit. It's mainly the ends that move a lot. Oh yeah, and at the back, it's clipping a bit. Lapis says, or if the shells can rotate to move out of the way, although that will be a painter rig. Yes, that would be a painter rig. I mean, maybe they could just be like softish shells, so they kind of just squish out the way a little bit. Okay, but I think that's good, so I think we'll end it here. I'll maybe feel like I should do like a final image of it, final render. I don't know from what angle. I kind of like how it looks from behind, like that. That's kind of cool. See that moving across the ground like scuttling. Yeah, and those big arm things at the front pulling. It's cool. Okay, yep. So I think I'll end it there. I'll maybe do like a final image and then post it on my Twitter or something. So follow me on Twitter. Yes, so next stream is obviously next week. It's every Friday, and I think it's Ben doing UI stuff. So Ben does UI on Industries of Titan and UX, and he also helps out with game design and stuff. Really smart guy. So tune in for that. I think it'll be his first stream. Like, I don't know if it's his first stream ever, but it's his first stream with Brace Off Games and stuff. So yeah, tune in for that. Should be really good. And then I think after that we'll have a break. I'm pretty sure for like PAX and GDC, because we're all like rushing at the moment for PAX and GDC. We'll be showing demos of Industries of Titan. So if you can get to PAX or GDC, definitely check out the demos. That's PAX East, of course. And I might be helping out with the demoing at GDC. So come say hi if you want to. But one of us who's working on the game will be demoing the game there, and then I won't be going to PAX, I don't think, but the rest of the team will. So yeah, look forward to those if you can get to them. I do recommend coming to check out the game because we've worked hard on this demo and it's gonna look awesome. I'm just a bit disappointed I can't go to PAX because of family and kids and stuff, but it'll be awesome to check it out at GDC and talk to people about what they think and stuff. And the demo is going to be kind of quite different to the last demo we did, which was ship combat and ship building. This is going to be more like how the game will feel at the start of the game. So it's kind of like, you know, you're on the Titan's surface, kind of placing buildings and checking out this kind of like alien environment and stuff and what it's like. So yes, so come check that out. And thanks for coming to watch me do this crazy weird stream. I don't know what I'll do next stream. I quite like this one that was just like winging it because we're so busy at the moment. I was just like, oh, let's just make a creature. So I do also want to do some VR again at some point. So maybe I'll do VR, but yeah, I'll see closer to the time. Okay, thank you for coming to watch.